Okay, so I never got the time to talk about Nico Schlotterbeck. Nico Schlotterbeck was a player that was linked to Barcelona before the match against Celta Vigo. Honestly did not see that, bro, because to be honest, I woke up kind of late on the day that Barcelona were going to play because I live in America, and I saw the news, and then like Barcelona were going to play like an hour later, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to talk about this whenever I have the chance. But now we're here. Now we're going to be talking about Nico Schlotterbeck. And Nico Schlotterbeck is a center back that does play for Borussia Dortmund, who is 25 years old, has a contract with Borussia Dortmund until June 30th, 2027. And his market value is 40 to 45 million euros. Barcelona are interested. It is official. Barcelona wants a brand new center back, and they're looking at Nico Schlotterbeck. And they're exploring this option for 40 million euros. Not 50 or 60 or 80 million euros, but 40 million euros for a player like him, Schlotterbeck, who can reinforce the defensive line. And just so you guys know, Liverpool are also very interested. They want a player like Schlotterbeck. I think there was this other center back that Liverpool wanted in the summer of 2025, but like for some, it was like a center back that played for, no, he currently plays for Crystal Palace. We talked about him too, but I forgot his name. But yeah, Liverpool and Barcelona right now are almost in the exact same type of story in terms of their defensive line, and they're both looking at a player like Schlotterbeck to reinforce the center back position. And it states here that Barcelona are prioritizing Schlotterbeck as Hansi Flick's ideal defense. He is Hansi Flick's ideal defensive target, and Flick is also seeking a left-footed center back to stabilize their high defensive line ever since Iñigo Martínez did leave. And he currently earns 8 million euros per year plus bonuses, which goes up to like 4.5 million euros a season if he completes all bonuses at Dortmund. So is this feasible? I would say yes. For 40 million euros, I don't know what Barcelona can afford in January 2026. I don't know. But if Barcelona do have the 40 million euros, let's make that happen. I think that it will be great. I think that Schlotterbeck, who has had experience playing with Hansi Flick, not with Hansi Flick, like literally on the field. I'm talking about like Flick coaching Schlotterbeck. That is something that has happened before over the past few years. And the fact that Barcelona are prepared to make that 40 million euro bid, I hope that Borussia Dortmund accept that deal, because that would really help us a lot. If we can revolve our center back options with Garcia, Araujo, Cubarsí, Christensen, and Schlotterbeck, that's going to help us a lot in terms of rotation, because we're playing a lot of games, and I believe that Schlotterbeck wants to also take that type of extra step in Europe. And what better way to do that but to do it at Barcelona? The last time I've ever seen Barcelona so serious on signing a really good center back was like 5 years ago, bro. It's been a very long time. I would even say, like with Iñigo Martínez, I wouldn't even call that like a serious signing. They just needed a backup, but he ended up turning very, very good. But like trying to spend 40 to 45 million euros for Schlotterbeck, John Laporte and Hansi Flick are being serious about this. It states here also that Barcelona want to finalize the deal early to avoid competition, hence the reason why we talked about Liverpool. So here's the thing, right? Let's talk about this center back, because I actually have been watching him over the past 8 games. I don't have a huge sample, but these are going to be my notes based off what I have seen from him with Dortmund. Flick, and it's always good to add context before I talk about any player, because context matters, right? The coach has different demands from different players, and so this is what he demands from a center back: comfortable under pressure with the ball, capable of vertical passing, quick and dominant in duels, and for sure, he needs a center back that can play with their left foot. Garcia can play with his right, Cubarsí can play with his right, Araujo can play with his right, Christensen can also play with his right, but also sometimes with his left. We don't have a left-footed center back, like a true left-footed center back. And that is where Schlotterbeck does come in with the experience, the physicality, the ability to play under pressure. That's going to be perfect. I can see a backline of Cubarsí and Schlotterbeck. I can see a backline of Araujo and Schlotterbeck, Garcia and Schlotterbeck, right? My tongue is hurting by continuing to say Schlotterbeck over and over again. Schlotterbeck, Schlotterbeck, Schlotterbeck. Like, my mouth is hurting, but it does work. And I can see that long-term vision, because he's still very young. Only 25 years old, bro. And a lot of people have been comparing Schlotterbeck to Van Dijk. And you know me, bro. Like, we talked about Van Dijk before. Van Dijk has always been highly admired by Barcelona. And if we can find a player... There's a reason why Liverpool as well are looking at Schlotterbeck, is because they want to find a replacement for Van Dijk. And these two are very much compatible. Like, they play like, they're both aerial dominant, tall as hell. Schlotterbeck is probably going to be, and he's going to end up becoming the tallest player at Barcelona if he were to come. He's very progressive, aggressive, composed, and build up. they're considering at Dortmund to make Schlotterbeck as the future main captain for the next few years. So there's decisions that need to be made there for Nico Schlotterbeck himself, right? Like, does he want to become the long-term captain for Dortmund, or does he want to restart his career and football in general at a team like FC Barcelona? So I am always in for a left-footed center back that has composure, leadership, and physicality. The last time we truly saw a center back like that at Barcelona was with Iñigo Martínez, and Iñigo Martínez was very important to Barcelona because of the way that he called out other players. Like, if Cubarsí made an error, he's like, bro, get up, wake up. What are you doing? Like, step up, step back. Stuff like that is really good. And he does rank right now, according to Sports Illustrated, that he ranks in 22nd place globally among the other center backs in the world, and he continues to rise in that ranking. He averages per 90, 2.17 tackles, tackles won, 1.33 per 90, 1.33 per 90 in terms of interceptions won, 1.83 blocks per 90, clearances 5.67 per 90, pass accuracy of 86.8. In terms of progressive passes, he averages 66.67 per 90. Progressive carries, 1 progressive carry per 90 minutes. And that's actually better than Saliba, which is crazy. And then in terms of shot creating actions, which is not the most important thing, but it's okay. He averages 2 shot creating actions per 90 minutes, which is better than Van Dijk and also better than Saliba from Arsenal. So as you can see here on the table, there is comparisons between Schlotterbeck, Van Dijk, and Saliba, and Schlotterbeck can compete with these other 2 center backs, which is really good. So I would welcome it. And I think this can also back us up for the worst case scenario in case Araujo does leave, because I know that Araujo has shown that he's committed to Barcelona, but you just never know. For some reason, I don't know why, but there's like that dark side of me that thinks that Araujo is gonna just last minute leave for a team like Juventus or Inter Milan or something crazy like that in the summer of 2026. And so I think that we have to be prepared for that. I don't want to think in that way, but I really do want to be prepared, because Araujo has given me that feeling for some reason ever since what happened in January and how close he was to like not renewing with Barcelona and maybe leaving for like very cheap, or if not like nothing at all, worried me. And so I don't know what's going to happen. You just never know. Bro, you know what messed me up? Ever since I saw Messi move to PSG, I'm like, nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. When I saw Messi move to PSG or Neymar leaving to PSG as well, I'm like, nothing's impossible. You just never know. These players might make certain decisions. Maybe the club just can't afford the services of this player anymore. You just never know. If Messi ended up leaving to Barcelona for PSG, I can believe anything. I can believe anything. I can believe Araujo maybe turning his back on us next summer. So let's tie it down, bro. Let's do it. A January move of Schlotterbeck to Barcelona would be ideal for us, and especially in that defensive line. So that is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.